Hello, everyone. Welcome to English 1101, week 16. This is it. This is the finale. This is over. This is done. Uh, yeah, you've made it. If you made it this far, you've done well. You've not dropped out. Way to go. You've not fallen into despondency. You're great. Okay. Good job. Here we go. This is your last 30-minute lecture that I'm going to post. Probably. I think so. I feel pretty good about that. If I feel like this runs over and I'm like, oh, we really need one more, then maybe I will. All right. But who knows what? All right. I'm on screen 2. Let's share. Okay. So this is it. Today, I'm going to go over final review of paper 3. Okay. I'm going to show you a great example of an essay. I'll post it. You can follow it if you want, if you want a better idea of what I'm looking for, okay? And then I'm going to do an edit of two essays, and then I'm going to leave you on your own. All makeup work is due today. I think all the drop boxes have closed. I'll be updating all makeup work. Let's see, just randomly. Let's look at this one here. Yep. All right. It closed. All of the drop boxes have closed. The only thing at this point that you'll be able to submit will be the final essay, which is in the week 16 folder. Here it is. Let's make sure I make it so that way you can submit multiple times. Yep, unlimited attempts. If you keep reworking it and want to resubmit another one, great, do it. Awesome. All right. So there you go. I am going to listen. This paper is due. Look, y'all, this paper is due. I'm gonna start grading these next Monday. Okay, and I have a very, very short window. So the Dropbox is going to be limited to next Monday morning at like 5 a.m. So your paper needs to be turned in, okay? By 5 a.m. on Monday. There is not going to be any leeway with that. So make sure you understand that. All right. What should your essay look like, you say? Okay. Okay, oh, I don't know what that was. Here we go. Here's what your essay should look like, okay? This is a paper by William Shadabed. And let's go through this one, and then I'll go through some of your other ones, ones that people have submitted, okay? So this paper is on the stranger in the woods, and he is writing about isolation and loneliness, this kid, William, all right? We have MLA formatting. Let's look at this. Let's look. 0, 0, double, perfect. 0, 0, double, perfect. Last name and page number is in the header X section. It's gray, so I know that it's in the heading. It is justified format. Let's go down. Let's just look at works cited page, hanging indents, alphabetical order, F, H, J, M. There are 3 outside sources, and there is and then there is the primary source of the book. You got to have your book. You got to have the book also, okay? You got to have your book and your 3 outside sources. You can use easybib.com for your book. It's pretty simple. Easybib.com. Every single person needs to cite their book. It needs to be on the works cited page. I'm telling you that right now, okay? I'm not going to find your citations for you. You need to do it, okay? Create citations. Oh, they changed the website. You should do your book. This is a book. All right. Stranger in the Woods. search it up. Uh-oh. Let's see. All right, well, why don't we do I'm Glad My Mom Died. We'll do this book. So I might have just misspelled. Let's see. Okay, well, you can always just do I'm Glad My Mom Died, MLA citation. Okay. So let's see. Go to, Library of Congress. The government's great and it works well. All right, and then if we want to cite this item, look, it has it right here, MLA citation style. All right, that's APA MLA right here. I would delete this author though. We don't need that. All right, so you can use the government Library of Congress website to get the MLA citation. If you use APA citation, that's incorrect. All right, not cool. You gotta do this one. So look up your book citation. Whatever your book is, you need to cite it correctly. All right, I told you also that I wanted you be talking about one main focus throughout your paper and how it applies to your book. So in this paper, we have the topic is going to be isolation and loneliness. Many people in the post-COVID world express feelings of isolation and loneliness. Isolation can be perceived as a silent treatment from a known person or not connecting or fitting in with your peers or colleagues. Now, do not get me wrong, isolation has positive aspects too, but unfortunately, the negative, blah, 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 blah. In the book, The Stranger in the Woods, it states that you may hide from the world, advises the book, to avoid the punishment it inflicts on those who differ from the rest in mind or body. That's one of the quotes, okay? You gotta have 3 quotes from your book. 1, okay, 2, and then where's the, right here, 3, okay? There's the 3rd one. And then 3 outside sources. All right. So, for instance, one might isolate themselves to improve their ability to focus and self-reflect. They might choose this method by mediating and disconnecting their account on social media. Focusing helps to give you more clarity and direction in your life. Focusing is normally associated with self-reflection. This process occurs when a person is attempting to improve themselves. Oh yeah, this paragraph was kind of random, but whatever. Here's a paragraph that uses an outside source. Clearly, isolation can cause a variety of different problems, but I would like to begin on how isolation affects our mental health. Isolation can cause a series of mental disorders such as depression, anxiety, and psychosis. This is because isolation makes people disconnect from other humans and reality. The detrimental impact of isolation on people's mental health caused the Mental Health America to write an article which states, loneliness has been associated with a number of poor mental health outcomes. It may be a response to a mental health condition, or it could be a trigger that initiates a mental health condition. Johnson. All right. So look, I'm using this essay for you because a student wrote this. This is not a professional essay. All right. The phrasing of that is not great phrasing. Is it incorrect? No, it's not incorrect. Is this class a rhetoric class where I teach you how to write sentences in the most clear and precise and positively pleasing sounding ways? No, that's not what this is. This is a class about academic writing. Academic writing doesn't care too much about voice. It's about using research and doing it correctly. Okay. So here we have an outside source, the Mental Health America. All right. We have a quote, we have it integrated correctly, and we have an author's name cited. That's all I'm looking for. All right. not every single person is going to be a great writer. Most of you won't ever go into being a writer. Some of you might become technical writers, all right? But this class is not teaching you to be a rhetorical writer. This class is teaching you how to be a technical, how to be someone who is using quotes and integrating quotes for academic essays, all right? So this sounds clunky, but this is also grammatically correct, okay? So that's what I'm looking for. And then we have an example of this can be seen in the book called The Stranger in the Woods, a biography. Oh, I'm gonna edit this some. The biography of Christopher Knight, who came out of 23 years of isolation. And when he did, he felt anxious to communicate with other human beings, Finkel 39, right? Lastly, isolation can cause a person to suffer from psychosis, all right? So again, we have a quote integrated. We have a parenthetical citation, all right? And so that is correct, all right? Apart from mental health problems, the second way isolation can impact human beings is by causing their health to decline. Abby Harbinger, writing for the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, writes that social isolation significantly increases a person's risk of premature death from all causes, a risk that may rival those of smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity, period. Okay? All right, great. Again, it's not superb writing, but it's correct. We have an author, we have a source, we have a quote that's integrated correctly, all right? And we don't have a parenthetical citation because her names have already been mentioned. That's all I'm asking you to do, okay? It's to write complete sentences and to write using outside sources and integrate those sources correctly, all right? You don't have to sound like a professional writer. You just got to do it correctly. Ryan Malcolm, writing for The Atlantic, explores the negative impacts of the pandemic on socializing adolescents. And this time he used a colon to introduce a quote. You can use a colon to introduce a quote when you don't really have a great connecting phrase, a linking phrase. And so instead of having a period here, which would cause this to become a drop quote, the period here becomes a colon. And it's correct. You just can't do that more than once. And then in the same paragraph, we have a connection to the book. When we speak, we are communicating our thoughts, feelings, and emotions through speech and facial gestures. But ironically, this is exactly what Christopher Knight was avoiding. Knight explains that a major motivator for his descent into the woods was because, quote, I never felt comfortable being around people, whether that was my brother, mother, or any of those kids at school. I was always waiting to be alone. And page number. This is why our social skills play a crucial role in complying with social norms. It allows us to understand one another, blah, 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 blah. All right. And then now we have the works cited page. We have the book, the memoir that was read, and then we have 3 outside sources. Okay. So is this paper flawless? No. Is it perfect in terms of like the way it sounds? No. Will this paper win an award for journalism? No. Does it essentially complete all the tasks I've asked it to do? Yes. 3 outside sources, 3 quotes from the main source, the primary source, the integration of quotes, the utilization of MLA formatting, the proper heading, all that stuff. Yes. Okay. And it's 1,400 words. So yeah, it does the job. Okay. All right. I'm going to post that one for you. So even though I think just for y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of like this paragraph. This is unnecessary. We're just going to delete that one. Okay. All right. Next, we have two people who want me to look at their papers. So I have about 15 minutes. I want to give this a try. I'm not sure whose is whose. Okay. This is Adrian Daniels, not her real name. Okay. This is about, I'm glad my mom died. All right. Capital letters, titles. Narcissistic mothers, capital M. This person did not use justify. They don't have to. Justify is not required. But look, it just looks so dang better. Okay. I mean, justify. When people use justify set formatting, really, honestly, it just tells me that they really listen to my lectures. Okay. Need to go ahead and fix this. Look at this. Look at this big old space between these two paragraphs. All right. It's not there. It's here, which tells me that there's inconsistency in the formatting, which means that when I do select all and I go to paragraph, there's going to be some blanks. Boom! What did I say? Blank, 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 blankety blank. This should be 0. This should be 0. And this should be double. Now, you might not notice much change here, but you'll notice a change down there. Like, look, yeah, nothing changed. Okay. But now we go down here and the paragraphs do not have additional spaces between them. Okay, great. Let's pull up this works cited page. That must mean that this is not centered. Make sure it's centered. All right, BMP. Okay, so this one is missing. This works cited page is missing the primary source. Primary source citation needed, which actually I had just pulled up on glad my mom died. So glad my mom died. There it is. I just Googled it. Oops, that was whatever that happened. All right, let's see here. Oh no, let's do paste this one. Okay, McCurdy, Janet. We get rid of author. I don't want that. And then also the title should be in italics. All right, there we go. All right, great. There it is. Okay, so then let's see if Janet McCurdy's experience with a narcissistic mother profoundly impacted her mental health. Sounds good. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, so this one such type described in the 6 Faces of Maternal Narcissism. We have quotation marks and italics. Which one is it? Well, this here says it's an article. So if this is an article title, it's not in italics. It's in just quotation marks. No italics, just quotation marks. The 6 Faces of Maternal Narcissism. As the article explains, the psychosomatic mother, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. Is there no author to this? Let's look down. The 6 Faces. Yes, there is. Carol McBride. Carol McBride is the author. So this right here, and in fact, we don't need to have a comma here because it's described in the 6 Faces. Okay. Oh, this should be one such type, comma, as described in the 6 Faces of Maternal is the second. Okay. Okay. Now we need, in this quote, we need parenthetical citation with McBride. Come on, people. Come on. So that would have been an error. Oops. That's not a highlight. Oh, here we go. So this would have been an error. Okay. The formatting issue would have been an error, which is actually further down in between this paragraph was the formatting error. Okay. The lack of this being here was an error. So we're already down to an 85 already down to an 85. Okay. In her memoir, Jeanette recounts how her mother frequently claimed to have cancer to gain sympathy. Jeanette writes, Mom loves recounting, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we don't need McCurdy here because we already said the author's name. All right. And this should actually be, we should always refer to writers by their last names, not their first names. Okay. So this would actually be McCurdy recounts. And the same here. McCurdy recounts or writes, which means that we don't need this. So that would be a delete. So there's another error. Oh, the title. This article was an error because it was in italics as well, not when it should only be in quotation marks because it's an article. The differences between a normal parent and narcissistic parent highlight that narcissistic parents are often forced. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So what is this? Okay, so the difference between a normal parent and a narcissistic parent. This is written by Vicki Peterson. So up here, this is a website. I'm sorry, it's an article, as we see down here. It's an article. On the website, I have something to say. So this is the title of an article. This is not a book or website name. So this is an error because it's supposed to not be in italics. It should be in quotation marks. And really, this is too long. This is weird. It should just be the author's name. It should write Carol McBride. Or in her article. Oh, wait. Oh, no, here it is. In her article, Hurley McBride highlights that narcissistic parents often force their children to prioritize their risk. Okay. So that should be there, which makes sense that it's an article and it's in quotation marks because that's the only reason why normal here would not be in quotation marks because it's art because it's within quotation marks. All right, so that's another one. And so instead, the website, we say McBride also states McBride okay, so because there wasn't a parenthetical citation or mention of the author, that's another error. All right, so let's see, this is supposed to be a period. An example of this behavior occurs in Purdy's book, when she writes, there we go. Okay. Which in that case, we would not need this. All right, and then again, in the narcissistic parent implies motion to spread purpose. Okay. Again, it's in quotation marks and italics. It's incorrect. Which is by Vicki Peterson. Okay. So look, y'all. This I really want to stop grading at 8 errors. 8 errors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, fine. I guess I'll keep reading. Okay. When I get to 8, then I am done grading your paper and you get a 60. Okay. I'm just going to stop it at a 60. Oh, there's 7. All right. Oh, and this right here also, this should be, look, this essay goes, the writing goes, begins here. And then this, for whatever reason, is pushed in. This should be like this, people. Okay. So there's your another formatting error. All right. Vicki Peterson. Peterson is never mentioned throughout here. This should be Peterson. All right. The article notes. The article doesn't say anything. Peterson writes. As Peterson writes. As Peterson notes. All right. Okay. Oh, here's another error. This should not be quotation marks. It should not be quotation marks and italics. That's wrong. Okay. So this paper would, if it was turned in this way, which I mean, this is a rough draft. The person who emailed it to me was like, I'm done. No, they told me it was their draft, you know, so this is not really a reflection of what they would have actually turned in. I'm sure they would have caught all this stuff. But let's just say for shoots and giggles that this was the final draft, this paper would end up with a 60. All right, a 60, because there's more than 8 errors. And so, listen, y'all, a couple of things. Okay, I'm not going to be writing a lot of comments on your final papers because grades are due like Wednesday. I mean, it's a very fast turnaround. At the school, I have to get the grades done right away. I am not given time to write errors. All I'm going to be doing is highlighting. I'm going to highlight errors on your paper like this. All right. Now, originally this was like this. So when I highlight this, you need to be like, oh, that's an error. And also, like, me writing comments on your errors was so that way you could improve for the next paper. I wrote the errors on essay 1, so you can improve for essay 2. I wrote comments on essay 2 to improve for essay 3. Essay 3, there's no paper to improve for. It's done. The class is done with essay 3. So I'm not going to be writing errors. I'm not going to be writing like commentary about them. I'm just going to highlight them so you understand what I took points off of. 5 points per error. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay. And then I'm done because I just want to stop at 60. I mean, you turned it in. You turned it in. So you should at least get 60 points. Okay. But like this right here, this was not actually here. I wrote that in. So they would end up, this error would look like this. And that would mean there's no parenthetical citation. Okay. All right. I'm going to highlight your errors. Once I get to 8, I'm done. All right. And if you turn in a paper, though, that does not meet the requirements, then you could lose more than 60 points. Like this paper attempts to do all the requirements. It is 1,300 words. It's on the memoir. It has 3 outside sources, and it connects each source to the book in every paragraph. All right. So they have done the required, they've achieved the requirements. All right. They just didn't fix all their errors. They still have errors. They're doing things wrong in this paper. So the paper is still going to get a passing grade of a 60, which is a D. It's a D. All right. Because they did it. They tried. All right. They just did things also incorrectly. If this paper lacked sources, if this paper was not about the book, or it didn't talk about the memoir in every paragraph, or it didn't have 3 outside sources, then this paper would receive less than a 60 because it did not even live up to the requirements. You understand? Okay. So, but if you did everything, you tried to do everything, but you saw all these errors, then I'm just going to cap it off at a 60 and I'm going to move on. All right. Okay. That's it. That's the last lecture. I hope this was useful for you. I'm going to post the example, or the bare minimum example of what you need to do. I hope that y'all have a great week. I hope, once you finish your essay, you're good and that you feel confident. If you did better on essay 3 than one of your previous 2 essays, I'll replace the previous one of the previous 2 essays grades with your essay 3 grade. Okay, so try to work hard on it. I hope some of you are taking my class next semester. 1102, we'll do a lot of the same stuff, similar, but which is different activities. And hope y'all have a great break and get some relaxation when the class is over. Okay. Email me if you have any questions. All right. Check you later. Bye.